A man who speaks in all caps. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. The choice we're getting on. Mandate to get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. We love that about you, right, Gina Grant?
That's right.
Handball, Brian.
Let's play some games.
Felipe Esparza is coming in. I love that guy. Very, very funny stand-up comedian. I think I saw his last special, and now he's got a new one coming out, so we'll talk to him soon. Oh, no, wait, it just came out. Oh, it came out in 2020. Did I see Bad Decision? That's his last one. Anyway, I'll figure it out. All right. Got a couple calls up there. I want to pull some balls and Waukegan, and I got stuff to complain about. All right. First thing to complain about was now we've dropped our indoor mask mandate in California or LA County. I don't think anyone knows.
Today, maybe?
As of today, I
They don't
think.
make it easy.
They don't make it easy. And the deal is a lot of people still hanging on to this thing. I will say this about the mask. I am not saying that a mask is not useful as it pertains to COVID. In theory, I'm saying our application of the mask is a shit show, thus rendering it ineffective.
Right.
So a mask, just by nature, I've done plenty of work around cars and spray booths and construction.
Fine mists, fine metals.
Yeah, there's guys who come in and they come in and they'll clean up if there's some hazardous material, something. They wear a respirator and the mask works. But if the mask rules are wear it as you walk through the restaurant, then take it off when you sit at the table, or wear it through the airport, but pull it down when you're looking at the guy who's checking your ID, or wear it on the plane, but then pull it off when they hand you the Fiesta mix, then there is no application. Right. So it is a mask, and then we go, do masks work? No, they don't work. Well, they do work. Well, there's a study out of Israel. They're between 10 and 13% effective. That's true if you keep them the fuck on everywhere, and if you have a properly fitted mask, not your shirt pulled up over your face, not the bandana or the gaiter, not the cloth mask with the fucking tabs bent out, or, as I frequently see, the cloth mask with the X twist around the ear, which leads the two
to pucker
1 inch gaping holes where I can basically see your upper lip if I stand next to you. Not effective. And I think it's time to move forward, and we're freaking kids the fuck out with the fucking mask. Plus, whatever data comes in about breathing your own carbon dioxide for 7 hours at a time at school, all the negative shit that'll come down the road. Just how much we've scrambled all the kids' brains and everything. But anyway.
It makes me think of NSNG, like what Vinny preaches. It works, but people are like, oh, it doesn't work for me. It's like, that's because you have like French fries one day and then a beer the next, you know what I mean? Like spacing it out or chipping away, as they say.
I had my meat with a bun.
Yeah, it's not, you got it, much like the mask. You either do the 100% or just fuck it. It's not going to, you're mitigating all the benefits.
Or this, which is, it's not exactly right, because you can be a practitioner of NSNG, put together a couple days, cheat, put on a couple, then go back. You can have some positive effect.
So some sugar, some grain?
Well, what I'm saying is,
I understand what you're saying.
Some virus.
Look, anyone who tries to adhere to the NSNG, I got too many.
The CDC says the NSNG.
Yeah, right. Anyone who tries to adhere to it knows that you can put together a decent week and have a baked potato on Friday night and still be down a couple of pounds. It's better than
stay marginally in ketosis.
This is more like you're NSNG and you're living off veggie chips with the first ingredient potato powder.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, no, you are not. But anyway, so I think we're all trying to claw our way back to sanity. I feel like the powers that be have done the polling on this and realized that people are kind of at a saturation point with it, so they're dropping a lot of the mandates. Look, if it's a rule and it's not applied in LA County, and we just drop the mandate in LA, if it's not applied in LA County, then it is good universally everywhere. We are always the last place to drop a rule. So, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis getting a new asshole chewed for him because he did an event and it was a bunch of people that were unmasked, but he had a row of kids behind him, and he told them to take the mask off.
Because he admonished them.
And now, well, we'll listen to the clip. He did not bully. Anyway, I'll play the clip. It's from Tucker Carlson. I was watching it the other night, and we'll run it long and stop and start, but it's all kind of in the setup.
With the midterm elections approaching, suddenly everyone's admitting that surgical masks actually don't stop the coronavirus. If they did, maybe close to 1 million Americans wouldn't have died from it. Even Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi have stopped pretending, but some schools haven't gotten the memo. They're still forcing kids to wear masks. No excuse. On Wednesday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was in Tampa for a press conference at the University of South Florida. As he came to the podium, he saw several students wearing masks. Here's what he said.
You do not have to wear those masks. I mean, please take them off. Honestly, it's not doing anything, and we got to stop with this COVID theater. So if you want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't.
One kid takes it off.
If you want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous. That's the message that adults should be sending to scared kids. Yeah. This is theater. Or when do you stop? There's an adult, and he's saying, if you want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous. You should take it off, which is what I would tell my kids, or what any sane parent should tell their kids. But here's the reaction they got from the media, of course.
Well, it is ridiculous. And if no one else is going to tell him, probably good he told them. It's not good to lie to kids. At best, it makes them grow up to be liars. And of course, as you may have noticed, that enraged the media. They were totally infuriated by this because it refuted the lies that they have told for years about children being forced to wear masks. So here's how they reacted to what DeSantis said.
Republican governor of Florida today, Ron DeSantis, berating high school kids for wearing masks at his indoor news conference.
Wow. Lord, where was that guy raised?
So
in a barn?
mean.
I mean, serious. No, I'm serious. Was that guy raised in a barn? I mean, seriously, this is a question I asked. Who raised him?
Oh, boy.
This is the governor of your state.
Hold on a second.
Right, The View.
I could never be the third guy in this picture who has to sit there silently. I'd be like,
Concerned.
yeah, well, but masks don't work. I mean, I don't like the guy either, but...
Cut his mic.
Yeah, all right. Now, the ladies from The View, they are upset over this.
Governor of your state, and it's televised, like you're on video, it's going to go everywhere. These kids are at an age where people already tease and bully, and like now you saw that girl like scrambling to take hers off, like what do? I just found to say that to a bunch of minors.
One kid looked at him like, shut up.
Yeah.
I like that kid.
There were some kids that did not take off their masks, and I thought that's damn good parenting right there.
Yeah, that's piss poor parenting, bitch.
Yeah, you wouldn't fit in there.
You freaked your kid out. That's good parenting.
Yeah.
Don't take that.
Under no circumstances.
Yes. If they're actual minors, like coal miners, they should wear a mask. And he was not berating them. He just told them it's time to move on. Yeah. This is theater. Turn the fucking page. But, all right, the ladies from The View are very upset over it. Also, I don't know. Don't you get to a certain age where you're just sort of sitting there like in the pre-production meeting going, I saw the tape. I don't think I would file that under bullying.
Or berating.
Like, it's, I mean, okay, I don't like Ron DeSantis, but do we have to wait for him to do something?
Yeah.
Or something that doesn't make sense scientifically, at least?
Well, and giving them permission, saying, go ahead and take those off. We're done with this theater, isn't an indictment on the kids.
Yeah,
or
keep them on if you want, but a lot of the parents were very upset.
Sure, of course.
Upset parents. It's good parenting to tell your kid to do something that doesn't make any sense scientifically. All right, we'll hear what DeSantis' take was on it.
Well, they're such liars. They'll say anything. And if they think you're gaining momentum, they want to crush you. So just to be clear, telling kids they don't actually have to wear masks because masks don't work is bullying, but threatening to throw them out of school and destroy their lives if they don't wear a mask is science. We want to straighten this out with the governor of Florida
I know. Hold
himself.
on. You shut schools down for a year and a half. That's not bullying kids or fucking kids up. Like, what's more detrimental? Oh, look, what would you rather? The governor of Florida tell you, take the mask off, this is theater, or keep it on if you want, or have him sit home and fucking watch internet porn for a year and a half.
And get hooked on opioids and have suicidal thoughts.
Right. All right. He's bullying them, but we'll hear what Ron has to say.
Honored to be joined by Ron DeSantis. Governor, thanks for coming on. So why did you say that? Good evening.
Well, Tucker, none of the adults were wearing masks, and it seemed to me that someone told those kids they had to do it. So I just wanted to make it very clear they do not need to be doing it. Obviously, in Florida, it's a free state. You can do it. But I think it's also important to point out that there's no reason to do it for young and healthy kids, especially. And in the state of Florida, we never had a mask mandate, of course, but our guidance from our health department is not to wear these cloth masks. And I think it needs to be said because people have been lied to for 2 years. And so I didn't want it to be thinking that like they were told to do this by me, because I certainly wouldn't do that. And, they talk about, by letting someone have a choice to take off their mask and welcoming that choice, that's somehow bullying. Tucker, bullying is locking kids out of school, which they did. Bullying is forcing kids to wear masks for 8 hours a day, which they did for 2 years and are only stopping now because the polling's changed. Bullying is kicking people out of work because of vaccine mandates. We fought all of those policies in Florida. We lifted people up and we liberated them from local school boards and governments that imposed them.
It's a little weird.
You know what? Agree or disagree with him. It's so refreshing to hear a governor with a point of view who isn't just like,
could you imagine the pablum
Yeah.
of Gavin Newsom talking about being better together and a feeling of strength? And
That's what I mean.
as a father,
Yeah. Where are you going to go?
Still be filibustering.
Yes,
right now.
just all right.
He has a point of
That's
view.
his case.
Yeah.
He happens to be right, but that's his case. Then bitches from The View didn't refute his case. Jesus Christ. This thing's going to, first off, it'll end. This whole thing is like, well, when is this all going to end? Well, you are assuming that people want it to end. I do not know if the ladies from The View really want it to end. If they did, this is a non-news story, is what I'm saying. All right. So yes, a little logic and a little science. We got a couple of calls up there for people who like to do some ball pulling in Waukegan. Start at the top. Chief Deputy Sheriff for DuPage County, Illinois.
Either way.
DuPage. What do we got, Bob?
Mijo. Paul, Gina, how are you?
Hi.
What's going on? Thank
you so much.
What is your county that you're the Chief Deputy Sheriff for?
We are the county right next door to Cook County, just outside of Chicago.
What's it called?
DuPage.
DuPage County.
Yes.
How's it going over there with all the defund and refund and Black Lives Matter and everything? How's that working?
I got to be careful, but we're right on the border with Cook County, so we've experienced quite a bit of overflow in the last 18 months, I'd say. A lot of crime that we don't normally see in our county is suddenly starting to crop up due to, my personal opinion, lack of prosecution on the other side of the border.
Well, look, I've seen a million stories, and I've heard a million stories.
And you've rocked them all?
I've rocked every face. Every story I hear, and it makes sense, of the guy who pushed a chick onto the subway tracks, or the guy followed the Asian woman up to the apartment and stabbed her 40 times, or the guy walks into the store in Melrose and stabs the single gal behind the counter. It's never like, and this is the first crime he's ever committed. Sure. It's always like,
he went crazy.
He's been arrested 22 times. I mean, like, I think we all had different thoughts about the 3 strikes thing. And I was like, yeah, okay, it's a nuanced thing.
3 strikes.
Once you get arrested 13 times,
it's a pattern. Behavior.
I'd say, and what I can never really wrap my mind around is everyone in your world Even the most despicable, shitty, even Jack Silver, our program director, even that guy.
I don't know where you're going with this, but careful with the examples you use.
I feel confident that even Jack has not tried to stab someone with a screwdriver who was waiting for a bus or push somebody onto the tracks.
Very doubtful.
I think it is a relatively small group of people who do the same thing over and over again. And with that in mind, once we get them into custody, maybe we should hang on to them for a little bit.
Controversial.
Established a pattern?
Yes. Bob?
Do you have time for a mini jag?
Sure.
This state, what they did, we'll just go with the marijuana laws. They changed the marijuana law, make it legal, tax it by the state. And a lot of the rhetoric around here was based on law enforcement picking on communities not maybe having the same affluence as some other communities, I'll put it that way. So they changed the law to make it legal based on a lot of that. But then they turned around and they changed the traffic laws. So back in the day, if I stopped you when I was working in tackling narcotics, and you had a little bit of cannabis on you, I could write you a Class C or a Class B ticket and send you on your way. Well, they got rid of all that. But they changed the traffic laws that if you're found in Illinois now driving with cannabis that's not in a state the sealed container from a state agency, one of the dispensaries, that's now a Class A misdemeanor. So the people that can't afford to go pay your taxes or go buy their weed anyway, that I used to write you a small ticket or just let you go on your way, is now a worse charge. So it's the most backwards way of doing things in the world. It's not as bad as California from me listening to you for the last 10, 12 years, but it's not good.
Careful of bringing your weed over there, buddy.
Yeah. I always have Mike carry my weed in his backpack.
The dogs usually get it.
That's why he gets on those shows.
The truth that I see from law enforcement, though, is that a majority of the people of the law enforcement, they think it's ridiculous too. So you'll get charged if you deserve to get charged, but cops cut a lot of breaks too. We're not out here just abusing people.
Well, how's recruitment going? It seems like the police have been so demoralized over the last couple of years.
It's tough in that if you look at the perfect storm of COVID shutting down a bunch of the police academies over the last bit, and then they passed this law in Illinois, this H bill with no cash bail, and they're talking about qualified immunity, which I hear you talk to Garagos about all the time, and all these other things that there a lot of agencies are really running short because they couldn't get anybody. The guys that might have stayed another 5 or 6 years past the retirement date are leaving. People that want to come in are all jaded by what they see in the media. And we haven't been able to put anybody through an academy for a year. So, and the academy process in this state between the academy and FTO training is about 6 or 7 months. So you're really behind the 8 ball trying to keep your manpower up.
Well, you're fighting the good fight, Chief, and I hope to. I'm going to go ahead and certify you as the ball puller because
promotion.
Well, I'd like someone on stage in case the shit goes down.
Right. Can handle himself and you.
And can I tell you this too? I didn't mean to cut you off, Adam, but you just made my day, and I wasn't going to throw it out there. But today's my 55th birthday, so you just absolutely made my day.
And will you be packing heat on stage?
I will be in the state, so I will be packing heat, but then I got to drink water. So it depends on how much fun you want me to have that night.
Well, I think I've come up with a game. Every once in a while I get a ball that's very vulgar or too personal.
Sure.
I don't want that ball.
Okay.
Okay.
But I could just throw it up into the air. And I'm not saying do not shoot toward the audience.
It's like
shoot up in the air.
Kind of thing. Pull.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, but limit it to 4 beers before we pull that game off.
That seems fair.
All right. Well, thank you, Bob. Happy birthday. And we'll see you on Thursday night.
Bob,
this is some bucket list stuff, Bucky. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bob,
man.
tell me you have a cop look. Do you have the mustache? Tell me you have the mustache.
Buzz cut.
I do not have the mustache, and you're going to laugh. I spent a lot of my career working undercover, and I look the same now as I did then. So it's
there you go.
A lot of Aryan youth. I'm half German and half Norwegian, so there's a lot of blonde and
ultra white.
Ultra white, almost clear.
Sheriff Bob.
Well, thanks, Bob. We'll see you on Thursday night at the Genesee Theater?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Genesee Theater in Waukegan. There it is. All right. Thanks, Bob. Look forward to it.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your service. All right. Felipe is here, but we'll talk to Gus real quick. Gus?
Hi, guy.
Hi, guy.
Adam, you broke my heart. You just gave it to the sheriff. Who needs the fucking
Oh,
sheriff?
shit,
man?
I forgot. Oh, yeah, I screwed that
Yeah,
up.
this is gonna
But
be
you couldn't
uncomfortable.
you couldn't beat out the sheriff. I mean,
I don't know, man. You got to give me a shot.
right.
I
He's a
like
frisbee
the competition
golfer.
that you had last time was funny. It was just like trivia and people were eking it out. I like that.
Your hobby is candle making.
Nice.
True.
I have learned, I don't know if you guys have seen this from watching TV commercials, especially for like pharmaceuticals and insurance companies and stuff, that fully 40% of small businesses involve women blowing glass.
Yes.
Oh, no shit.
They're all,
Yeah.
Now
they've
that you
just,
mention
that
it,
is the
they're glass
job du
workers.
jour. Like,
Yeah.
look, I'll sign off on 20% of the small businesses being lesbians blowing glass, but it can't be half. They've
Yeah. Very niche group.
Madison Avenue gets hot with ideas
Yeah.
like, hey, this glass blowing thing, that's cool, right? They're like,
And then
yeah.
They see her stocking the shelves at the boutique at the
Right.
end. Like, it all goes up for sale.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of glass blowing going on.
They might
and glass-
inflate those numbers.
First up, watch your mouth, Gina. Number one. Number two, you don't know that.
Okay, true.
Go walk up and down the street.
Okay, and see how many
Look
glass
at the
with
small
female glass.
businesses.
Yeah, okay.
Well, there will be some male glass blowers in there. I'm
Sure.
Not,
This town is littered with glass blowers.
How much blowing glass?
I'm a male glass cutter.
Not
we do
once.
you etch the glass and then you do super hot, super cold. It kind of falls off and then you sand the edges.
Oh,
you get
yeah.
the soy wax online. You can scent it however you want. It's really fun and they make awesome gifts.
Do you have one of those?
Are you gay?
Do you have one of those Popeil glass cutting tools?
Yeah. I started with the super cheap one, handheld at the store, but then it was kind of rough. So you spend $18, you get the little thing, and it's just perfect and perfect cuts every time. By the way, Ball Bryan,
Hey.
we love you, man, and you no longer need to leave the joking to Adam because you're really fucking funny, and it's been really cool to see your progression. And
Hey.
Gina,
Yeah.
Well, hold
you
on,
are
Gus
the
is
heart.
still-
You are the heart and soul of the show, and we love you.
Thank you.
The Ask Kissery will get you no closer
Come
to the
on,
stage,
get him on
guys.
stage.
But he does smoke meats.
Oh, he smokes meats and he does the cold water plunges.
And he's cousins with Joel McHale.
You're cousins with Joel
Oh,
McHale.
strike two.
Hey, Chris, you got to find the Popeil glass cutter commercial. This
Seems
is
very dangerous.
This was, you are going to take all of your old 7-Up bottles,
Oh, yeah,
cut
turn
the
them
top
into
off,
planters.
sand
Make a
them.
tumbler.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
tumblers.
Oh, drinkware?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
put
yeah.
your mouth up
shit.
against it.
Yeah, because where the hell are you going to buy glasses? You do understand that while simultaneously in our history, in this little snapshot of history, 1975 to 1978, the exact window that Ron Popeil was trying to sell us on making our own tumblers at home out of various pop bottles to use as glasses, they were simultaneously giving away glasses at gas
That's
stations
right.
for filling up. You fill up, you get a Rams
dude,
cup. You know what I mean?
My grandpa had the set of 16 49ers
Right.
glasses.
So were they difficult to come by so much so that we had to act like we were in prison making our own hooch, or were they giving them away?
Yeah, it seems like they were glasses aplenty.
Yeah. Well, do we have that commercial? Sorry, Gus, you gotta
Yeah,
you gotta
it's the
endure this.
Ronco glass cutter here.
We are unwrapping the greatest gift you will ever give to mom, dad, even the kids.
Hold on,
It's
little
the-
hyperbole. Little hyperbole.
Kids, I said life is the best.
I think if you got mom that for
Ugh.
Christmas,
You're written out of the will.
yeah. Anyway, sorry.
It's the Ronco bottle and jar cutter, an exciting new way to recycle throwaway bottles and jars into decorative glassware, centerpieces, thousands of things. Emery cloth is included to make glasses drinking smooth. A hobby for dad, craft for the kids, or great gift for mom. The Ronco bottle and jar cutter, still only $7.77.
There had to be major class action lawsuits with people getting cut, children getting cut.
I just love the idea that you can't afford a tumbler.
No.
So,
You
or
make your
you'd
own.
like to drink out of one that smells like Fresca. So
Impress the neighbors.
Got to make your own.
But Ace, if you got that gift in your horrible childhood, wouldn't you
Oh, my
kind of love
God.
it? Wouldn't you be like, oh, this is something?
You'd sleep with
And
that in your
first
bed
off,
like a blankie.
In my childhood, if you gave me the gift of a dead hamster, that would have been an upgrade. For me, I would have named it.
Yeah.
I would have built
Dragged
a
it
little
around.
bed for it. I would have dragged it around. Maybe let the cat get to it a little bit. No one, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. For me, well, first off, that would have been in the top 5 most valuable possessions of the Carolla.
In the house, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a big ticket item at the Carolla house.
$777.
Oh, I would have been all over that. But on the other hand, we didn't really get pop bottles, so I would have had to go through the neighborhood for that. How do you do the cold water plunge?
Well, I'm sitting here in my sunroom, and I'm looking out at the blue waters of Lake Michigan right now. So we just live right down from the beach. Gorgeous. And so pretty much right around this time of year, when it starts to get, 40s, 50s, and sunny out, I can take it. And I find that if I keep my hands and my head out, I can stay in and just sort of walk around, like kind of put my hands on my head and kind of go in there. So I know your pool's cold, but man, this water is fucking freeze your sack off cold.
And people,
but it's great.
I'm sure most people know this, but it's called Lake Michigan. It's basically an ocean. It has waves.
Are they allowed to call it a beach?
Yeah.
It's a great
Absolutely.
lake.
It's it
is indeed.
It's fantastically. But it's enormous. It's not like you're getting in, the pond.
Paul, you bring up something interesting, though, because a lot of people don't know we have, like, legitimate beaches here in Chicago. And so, it's like we have an actual huge-ass beach here up on the north side, kind of by Loyola School. And, it's awesome. We do it all year long, and then you get pushing it into, like, November, December when you're still going in. It's freaking cool.
Do you get looks from folks walking their dogs?
Yeah, of course. There's, like, always kind of, like, a weird side. My girlfriend's out there holding the towel so I can get out, and if I'm lucky, if I can coax her in like once a year. But it's awesome, man. You get out, you essentially feel high for like 3 hours. You're just like, you feel great.
Second cousin to Joel McHale.
Card-carrying NAMBLA member Joel McHale. Correct.
Right.
Does Joel know your cousins? Do you get together for family events?
Yeah, we're actually having a family reunion that was delayed by COVID, but it's happening this year, and he's always there. And yeah, he's great.
I'm a card-carrying NAMBLA member.
Like, he never changed. Like, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I know. He's such a good dude. He's just a good dude.
I'm a card-carrying NAMBLA member.
And that.
Don't promote that.
Now, are you coming out to his vast estate out here in Los Angeles, or is he traveling to you?
He's coming here. We switched the venue. So this one is in Lake Geneva, which is just north about an hour and a half in Wisconsin. So he'll be coming out with the fam.
Wow, that's nice. All right, Gus, look, the guy you're competing with is packing heat, so I don't want to upset Bob, but I will, and Chris will remind you will have you stand up and acknowledge you and take a bow.
Well, I'm coming either way. Me and my buddy got tickets. I was curious, though, do you guys have any food hooked up? I mean, I got a pretty awesome barbecue spot here.
Shit.
Yes. We'll put you on hold. You can talk to Chris about that because we must have smoked meats backstage in order to perform correctly.
Right.
Plus, you're traveling the next day. You can line your pockets.
Yeah. And no vax card requirements and no mask. It just dropped recently for those who.
Your timing is great. And my girlfriend's a nurse, and we've been talking just let's get over it. Let's be sensible people for all the last couple of months. It's tough here in Chicago. You still see people walking around outside with them on, but in general, it's getting better. So we welcome you, sir. And it's been a pleasure to talk to you guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Gus. Appreciate it. All right. Felipe
That's a genius.
is waiting out there. I'll tell you about crowd health. Even insured people are resorting to crowdfunding for healthcare costs these days. 250,000 insured people still went bankrupt last year due to medical costs. Crowd health. Use the power of community to make healthcare affordable. Crowd health isn't health insurance, and that's why it works. No doctor networks, huge premiums, or high deductibles, and no surprises. Pay one low monthly total to fund your account and access the Crowd Health community. You'll pay the first $500 of health. You'll pay the first $500 of a health event. The rest gets submitted to Crowd Health community members for funding. Don't let healthcare costs stand between you and your future. Join Crowd Health today. Am I right, Dawson?
Ready for a better way to pay for healthcare? Join the crowd. Right now, you can get your first 6 months for just $99 a month. That's almost 50% off the normal price, a lot less than a high-deductible healthcare plan. Just go to joincrowdhealth.com. Use promo code Adam at sign-up. That's joincrowdhealth.com. Promo code Adam. Crowd Health is not health insurance. It's a totally different way of paying for healthcare. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, Felipe Esparza, very funny stand-up with a very interesting background. Is going to be in studio right after this.
It's not just Mexicans coming over. People from El Salvador, Nicaragua, Guatemala, Honduras, Peru, Venezuela. They come into America illegally and they steal Mexican jobs. Are you fucking serious? We gotta make America great for Mexicans again.
Felipe Esparza on the Adam Carolla Show.
Always good to see you, my friend.
What's up, fool? What's up, Adam?
I just loved your last special so much. Bad Decision. It's on Netflix. And now season 7, by the way. Season 7, 10. Winner.
2010.
Oh, okay.
That's the year, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm not good with this stuff. You got to put the whole
with the shorthand.
Got to put the whole year in there. See, and the problem is sorry, the way my brain works is like Dancing with the Stars. He was 9th runner-up. Right. Like on my head is spinning, so I see 10. Like he came in 10th or season 7 or a year.
Plus they jam in however many seasons into a year. So
right.
It's been on for 12 years. We're on season 32.
Right. He won Last Comic Standing. That's what I want to say. Good save, Felipe.
2010, season 7.
There you go. We were talking off the air that he saw me on Byron Allen's show.
Yes.
Comics Unleashed?
Comics Unleashed.
Yeah.
It was at 2:30 in the morning. It came on, and I was like, I was packing. I was thinking about should I go to sleep and get 3 hours of sleep or watch some television. So I was packing, watching your show, and you did the exactly same thing that what's his name did, the pit bull of comedy. What's his name?
Bobby
Slayton.
Bobby Slayton.
He went off script too.
Oh, nice.
And I was throwing Byron off.
Well,
because you were adding stuff to the other comedians' jokes, which is what you do, when you're doing panel. But Byron Allen wasn't ready for that because he'll ask her, so you got your hair done today. What was that like? And that's part of your material.
Right. Yeah, well, so the thing about that show that was weird is Byron, first off, God bless Byron Allen, but he's kind of the Dick Clark of comedy. Like, we're not sure what you do. I mean, you bring on the Beatles and then you introduce us to a Toto, but I'm not sure what you need to do in this equation. So what Byron does is he just gets all the comedians. It's the best job. It's sort of, I don't know, Chelsea Handler used to do that. Where you just get a bunch of people and then you become the traffic cop.
Right.
Except for you get paid 500 times more than anybody else, but you're not really burning the material or the calories. You just point, and now you and the.
What do you think about that, Adam?
Yeah, right. So so Byron Allen says we'll get a bunch of comedians in here, and then you tell us your jokes, your bits, and then I'll set you up for the bit. So I'll ask you how's the hair? Oh, don't get me started. Ladies, have you ever been to this? And then they go right into their act, sitting down, and that's how it works.
Okay.
Except for I didn't have an act. So he couldn't throw it to me for anything. And then my act was just jumping on the other person's. Oh, yeah, you know what? I got a hair story. And then I would do it. And at some point, I started realizing, wait a minute, a lot of my shit is funnier than the comedians who it is their act, except for I didn't have it chambered in advance.
So no producers were like, what are you doing?
Well, Byron didn't know what to do because 3 of the people had set bits that he was going to throw to, and then there was me who didn't have a bit, but my bit was jumping on everyone else's bit.
So you were on with that fan who won Last Comic Stand in season 1.
Oh,
a Vietnamese?
Vietnamese.
Yeah. And from Texas or something?
From Orange County.
Oh, Orange County, same place.
San Diego. And then there was Monique.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And there was a guy named Roberto it was tough for him. I was watching the whole show because his whole act is physical. So he was the only one that was standing up. He was walking around.
Oh, boy. Byron almost had a heart attack that day.
And then you got up, too.
I did, too. Well, if that's his act, then that's my act.
Jump on it.
Yeah, it was funny, but I was in the neighborhood.
I got a slipping on ice story too.
The timing is right. Was right. It was like after I finished the radio show, they'd tape at noon or something. They were up the street. And I would always just show up and burn calories. So they got to get 4 comedians every time. There's always a slot open. So my phone rang a lot.
Always ringing.
And this is a show that still pays.
Really?
Every time he sells the show to another network, I get a check for like $200, $200, $300.
Oh, really? How many times were you on it?
I was on 3 times, but only 2 of them aired. I was on with the good one. I was on with Bobby Slayton, and Jasper Red, and some woman named I forgot her, Espinosa or Esposito, comedian Esposito.
Well, you tell us.
And then there
is
was
it Carmen?
Carmen Esposito, very
she's
funny.
Yeah.
And then Korean comedian that had her sitcom back in the days.
Margaret Cho?
Yeah.
Margaret Cho.
Wow.
I still have her in my top 10 of funniest Korean female lesbian comedians.
Specifically.
She's in the maybe top 8. I don't know. I gotta check my power rankings. Yeah.
But every once in a while, man, that he sells the show to like some little town like Cudahy, California, and a network buys it and they send me a check.
Nice mailbox money.
Oh, well, then I must be getting checks too.
Yeah. They sue. And then he was part of some lawsuit, and I don't know if he lost or won, but they sent me a check.
Oh, nice.
He's
Class
also
action.
Byron Allen may quietly be one of the richest comedians around.
Quietly.
First things first. I think. Well, first off, I've interviewed Byron. He was doing stand-up when he was like 14.
Yes,
one
he
of those
was
fucking
on a
guys.
show when we were I think we were kids, right? He was on that show. That's incredible.
Yes, yeah, he was on That's Incredible. The
James
website. Can I tell you his net worth?
I'm dying
for
to
the
know.
comedian you've never seen 2 minutes of stand-up of, right? I mean, you know the name, but you'd be like,
Wasn't actually sure he was a comedian.
he's no Dave Chappelle.
Right.
I mean, he's not on Netflix.
Yeah.
$450 million.
That's it.
Jesus.
$500 million.
How?
Now look, it could be 425. I mean, this is
Little less
the
impressive,
internet, and it could be 475.
I put in Byron Allen net worth. The first thing that comes up is a question saying, "How is Byron Allen so rich?" People want to know.
Okay, so what he's done? First off, he was on That's Incredible. I think with Skip Stevens, or I was talking about Skip Stevens earlier, but Stevenson or Skip Stevens. Anyway, he was on the show when he was like 17 and a half or 19 or something, like while you were putzing around a college campus struggling with your sexuality, he was hammering checks. Okay. So it's like his mom would take him to comedy clubs when he was 14 or 15. So he was out there. So that show, That's Incredible. That show aired in 1977 or something. Like,
Yeah,
I was in
78.
I was like in the 6th grade when that show came out. He was on TV.
Wow.
Then he figured out a way to network. He figured out a way to network with all these like black owned or whatever. There's things carved out for minorities or whatever, and he went full tilt into that. Like, I'm a black man, so I can do this, and
Good for him.
there's funds for that and everything else. And then art. He's got a lot of art.
Oh, he's a collector.
And the people, everyone talks about real estate or cars or watches
Not
or
Steve
something.
Martin.
The fucking art collectors over the
the
last
original
few years.
Chaka.
Yeah, they've been killing it. Just killing
Wow.
it. So I think a lot of it is his art. Last month, he made a bid to buy the Denver Broncos.
Shit.
What?
Fucking guy's worth $500 million.
Yeah, so.
You need to get back on that show. Kiss up a little.
Renegotiate for another 100.
That's right.
I remember pulling up, and I was like, I'm a car guy, and I was like, ooh, who's Aston Martin Vanquish is that? Like the top of the Aston Martin food chain. It's like, oh, that's Byron's. I'm like, oh, this guy's doing okay.
Wow.
So he is quiet. And by the way, I don't think he wants any limelight or Me Too. I like stay off the fucking radar.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Byron, for putting you on the radar, but he keeps his head down and he fucking is a businessman.
It's got to be by design because the guy he has the show, he has whatever, he's in the public. He could be more if he chose to, right? This has to be a conscious choice.
Yeah.
You never see him on TMZ slapping somebody.
No, although I'd like to see that. But I mean, as we all learned from James Franco, I think it was James Franco, like you show up, you walk the red carpet, you got the Me Too pin on it, time's up, and everyone goes, fuck that guy. And then we do a little thrashing around in your past, and it turns out a couple drama students weren't too happy about you getting handsy. Byron's shit is, I'm not walking down the red carpet.
I wouldn't go there. Literally.
Why? Just because we are that stupid. We do sort of loosely base canceling people on seeing that.
Of course.
I mean, the whole Bill Cosby thing was built on Hannibal Buress's act.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
Otherwise, it was just an industry secret that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started off when Bill Cosby was making fun of telling black people to don't sag your pants.
Right.
Pull your pants up.
Like, who the fuck are you?
That's not a man.
You don't hear Byron Allen telling black folk to pull their pants up. If he did, he would get on the radar, and then we would fuck his shit up.
This would be wildly irresponsible.
Byron Allen is telling Crips and Bloods to just make the whole gang an NFT.
See? This would be wildly irresponsible if I made this accusation, but pure wild speculation. We don't hear about Bob Weinstein doing anything wrong because he never walked the red carpet. He never did. He wasn't out there, right? I'm not saying he did, but I'm saying Harvey was out there. Harvey got the, eventually enough was enough.
Well, what we didn't really, I mean, I think there has to be a whole new publicist playbook. Mm-hmm. The old one needs to be burned in the fireplace, and we need to come up with a new one. The apologies don't work. The let's get out in front of it. Nothing works anymore. And also, the plan was always, you need to be seen as much as you can possibly be seen. That's the value in your celebrity. So you hit all the hot spots and you make all the appearances. And that was kind of the old playbook. I would say the new playbook is no apologies, no press conference after the meltdown, and stay off the red carpet. Just put your head down. Do not come on this podcast.
Whatever you do.
Just keep your head down and hammer checks.
Wasn't there a very famous phrase like, tell the truth and tell it first? Or tell the truth, tell it all, and tell it first. Like that was... as American culture, that's how we do. We don't do that. We shouldn't do that anymore.
No, we're done with the truth. We're done with apologies. We're done with everything.
It's like when the West Coast offense came to the NFL.
That's right.
Took a few years. There's still guys running the double wing, right? But then eventually.
I'm like with George Costanza. It's not a lie if you believe it.
That's right.
Chris, what year did Byron Allen? How old was Byron Allen when he came on to That's Incredible in the first season? I think he was a kid.
They profiled him as like a child stand-up, I assume.
No.
I thought he played for the Rams at first, but it was someone else.
Felipe, I know you got a crazy story of how you came to this country and where you were born and all that. Can we get into a little bit of that?
I snuck in fair and square back in the day.
Did what he told.
Taking the job of white joke tellers?
Yes, sir.
Where were you born?
I was born in Sinaloa, Mexico.
Is that synonymous with the drug cartels, Sinaloa?
Well, I was little when I left, so yeah. I live in northern Sinaloa in the countryside. I would tell you right now that when I left, the whole street was dirt, and every night a water truck will show up and just water the streets,
down.
so it'll be so dusty at night.
Down?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I swear to God, every time I pass a construction site where there's a bulldozer and there's a guy standing next to it with a hose, I'm like, I want that job.
Me too, man.
That's a cush job. I love firing a hose.
Not
Standing
moving.
there.
Just standing there.
Someone told
hey,
me,
you thirsty? Take a hit.
Someone told me that because I avoided like hard labor, like changing a tire or construction.
Hard labor.
And then somebody told me that he goes, nah, bro, if you hook up with a fucking with the owner's daughter, he'll give you the kickback job. Like, what job is that? He goes, just picking up nails all day.
That's the kick.
He goes, fuck, that's fucking boring, eh? I could do that all day, pick up nails.
I want either the hose job or the sign holder job that's in front of the construction. You know what I mean? Tell them to slow it down or stop like that. That's a
if
sweet.
the truck's backing out of the
sweet
the
gig.
side,
Yes. Byron was on Real People.
Yeah, it wasn't not that's incredible. As an
I thought it may have been that too, but
Cindy
Felipe
Garvey
fucked me up.
Yeah, so he joined second season about 79, 80, so he was probably about 18.
Wow.
Oh, he was a host.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
It wasn't featured as a young person
Because you went straight from who started comedy at 14. I was like, they profiled him as like a 15-year-old comedian.
They do this thing. They do the black don't crack. For the 65-year-old blacks, they don't factor in the 14-year-old blacks who look 29.
Yeah,
which is kind of Byron Allen. He was 18. I thought he was in his 30s when he was on that show. I was 14. I
really thought he was 32.
Yeah.
Well, he went to Fairfax High School and USC. The showbiz, I guess, was in the blood.
Well, it still is. So anyway, enough of our tribute
Back to Sinaloa.
Sinaloa. So then you moved to Tijuana?
No, we lived in Sinaloa since, I guess, the three of my little brothers. We all lived in the same ranch. There was like a big...
compound?
A big compound with like 5 houses. And none of them, except my grandmother's house, had flooring. So it was all like dirt too.
Guy just come by with the truck once a day and water
it.
Like the infield.
Like sometimes you're sleeping and a tree grows. But it was like, now other houses were like half done or 3/4 done. But then now I didn't know why. I thought maybe we were poor. But I was talking to a cousin of mine who my aunt died. And a friend of mine who lived in Mexico and has a house in Mexico, he told me, nah, bro, what they do is they don't finish, they have finished the house, so they want to pay property tax or taxes yet. And they keep telling the government we're not finished yet.
Oh, it's under construction.
Yes.
You have solved the conundrum in my life.
So when you see they're still they're always building it, okay, yeah, we don't have enough money to put a floor. Sorry, we have no chimney, But that was all the houses were some have floors. And then the movie theater we went to had no ceiling.
What?
I God damn it. I swear to Christ, there's 2 things I've done a lot in my life. Building, I was a contractor for many years, and road trips to Mexico. I've done many with the construction guys. Used to drive on through, go to Rosarita, 4x4s, motorcycles, surfboards, buying fireworks at stands, sitting in the back of a pickup truck, lighting M80s with a cigarette, holding a Corona, throwing it at the fucking car behind us on a dirt road. You think lawlessness is a bad thing?
No,
it has some upside.
Yeah.
It sounds like Pleasure Island,
It's
Pinocchio.
good. Yeah, when you're 22 and you want to fucking have a good time. I would challenge anyone to get into the back of a pickup truck and light M80s with an open Corona off Tiparillo in Glendale. And let's see how many feet you can make it. I don't think you're going to make it. This is nothing but open road.
Wow.
And duct taping huge bottle rockets to M80s and twisting the fuses together and going down to the lawless beach and firing it off into the ocean. I mean, try that in Malibu. We'll see how long you last. But
you probably could try that in Royersford, Pennsylvania.
The one place.
We would do all these road trips, and we drive all down these roads. It's really you drive until the pavement stops, and then you get deep into the weird villages and desert, and then you get to the ocean, and you just stop, and you go, we'll fucking park here. But I would pass all these structures, and they're like these cinder block structures with no roof. And I'm a builder. And I was like, what's going on here with all these structures along the side of the road with no roofs, all cinder block? And I was like, I guess they don't have 2x4s. Like they have cinder block walls,
right,
but they don't have the timber for the roof. That's all I could make sense of. But it always vexed me. But I think I just got my answer.
Sweet loophole.
Yeah, and some of these houses are being built by a family member that he's probably sending money from United States to a family member, and he's building the house, but he's probably spending on hookers too, you know.
Sure.
And you're over there in Pacoima, California, or Silmar, expecting a home to be built. When you get back to Mexico, and there's no roof.
No roof.
A dirt floor filled with spent condoms.
For real, I've heard stories where people who live in America have been sending money to Mexico, expecting them to build a home, and when you get there, there's nothing, and he ended up murdering his whole family instead, and then going back to Pacoima.
Wow. And you had a movie theater with no roof.
There was no roof, and the whole floor was like cement, like bleachers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was I saw Valley Girl there.
Wow.
Wow.
But it was like in Spanish, it was like Niña del Valle.
It's a little different from the ArcLight.
That is so crazy. Yeah, so Nick Cage, Valley Girl.
Yeah,
Nick
that's
Cage?
right.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage, yeah.
So you bring up Silmar, Pacoima. Gina probably knows, but those of you who've not really spent a lot of time in Pacoima and Silmar.
I'm in the valley.
If somebody, just gave you an ether rag when you fell asleep and then woke you up in the middle of Pacoima, you would not, and told you it was Tijuana, you would not know.
We wouldn't question it.
Not at
You
all.
would not know, man.
Yeah, you can kind of, it's interesting. I'm thinking, because I think Pauley High School, where I used to play my Pop Warner football games with the Sun Valley Falcons. Be wary of schools with big murals. When they got the big mural, especially the ones highlighting Cesar Chavez or Martin Luther King or Harriet Tubman, might want to grab a private school.
I think we got a rich man, poor man situation because think about Hollywood High by Kimmel
Marilyn
Theater.
Monroe, Charlie Chaplin,
if it's
John Wayne.
I'm going to carve out John Ritter.
Mine had a big old Theodore Roosevelt. That's just for the gag room right on that wall.
Yeah, I think Polly. You can find, Chris, I bet you can find the mural on Polly High, but...
Depends who it's celebrating.
Once again, if it's John Ritter,
Judy Garland,
there's a lottery to get into that school.
Understood.
Judy Garland, Marilyn Monroe, or John Ritter.
Understood.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's all bad. Just like the apartments in that area probably be like fancy names, but they're all like shitty apartments.
Tahitian Terrace.
Like Terrace, or Villa.
Oh, I love
Victory Gardens.
Or Maryland Chateaus.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Luxury apartments.
Oh, I love it.
Duplex.
Yep.
Yeah. There's nothing sad.
We just exterminated.
Where you live in, Felipe?
I live in Mission Hills. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So we got Martin Luther King, I think.
I think we have Chris up there twice.
We got a guy who
Cesar
looks like
Chavez,
Chris.
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
Oh, my.
Wait a minute. Why is Genghis?
That can't be Genghis
He's
Khan.
next to Mother Teresa.
This is very confusing.
And then we got standard issue Latina chick who's
A girl
graduating.
graduating, mad dog, and somebody passing by.
And then there's an angry parrot.
Yeah. That's for Coke.
Oh, there's Cochise.
Perico.
There's like an American Indian on there.
Yeah, that's crazy horse.
Is it the stand and deliver guy in front?
That's Cesar Chavez.
Oh.
No,
It's played by the
that's
same
probably that's not Jaime
right.
Escobar. Jaime
Escalante.
Escalante.
That's not.
Easy Japanese.
It could be. It's Cesar
That's
Chavez.
Confucius.
Cesar Chavez.
Oh, it's Confucius.
Not Genghis.
I was confused. I was confused.
Very confusing mural.
All right, listen.
Who's
Look,
the chick with the habit?
well, look. I'm not a big fan of this, but we need to label our murals.
I think so.
We got to have the guy's name.
Like jerseys.
Yeah.
We need his name.
No, I think you're
under
right.
there. There's too many Genghis Khani, Confucius, confusion.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's actually a good thing because, back in the day, there was only one celebrated famous ethnic person. There's so many. It's wonderful. Now we need to know who's who.
That could be AOC to the left.
Yes, it could.
I do not know. But
Like
anyway.
that girl from that Princey commercial. I know all about it. My name is Laura.
Anyway, mural of John Ritter. Go ahead and put your kid in that school.
Right.
Mural of Cochise. Mother Teresa's up there. So so do you end up in Tijuana, or is that just what I have
No,
on
my dad. My dad left to America first. My dad had family members living in West LA who were working at Warner Brothers. They were packaging LPs.
Oh, wow.
by hand, I guess, back in the day. So they all had jobs, and most of my dad's brother were living here. So he just came, he crossed the border illegally too, and he got his shit together and then came back to get us.
How long?
2 years, I think.
I never really thought about it. Is it remittance? Is that what they call it? When you're sending the money back. I never, I always had this mindset that, these poor and they're proud and they send someone and they work hard and they send the money back. And that money's used to buy baby formula.
Yeah.
And, orthodontia work and stuff. But I just thinking to myself, if I moved to Mexico and made money and sent it to my fucking family, I'd come back and see a bunch of shit they bought off the internet.
Jack in the Box rappers.
They'd be like splayed out on a futon watching TV, watching The Price is Right.
A big screen?
Yeah.
Friday after next DVDs.
Yeah. I'm afraid 70 to 90% of that money would be completely squandered on fast food and tchotchkes. Tchotchkes.
Yeah, man.
Of chachi.
I do business now. I say like the pandemic was tough because I didn't do stand-up from March to September. So now I say it was tough because my cousin from Mexico had to send me money now. They sent back the clothes I sent them. Outdated clothes too, like a Bugle Boy track suits with LA gear, lit up shoes. My Heelys.
That's more than me.
Do you send money back?
Not anymore because my grandmother's dead. So we used to send her money.
Oh, okay.
Do you ever go back? And if so, how long until that started happening?
I have not been back since we got our green card and our papers together.
And how did comedy mix come into this for you?
It's an obvious track, Adam.
Yeah, I know.
When we got to the border, we crossed with a coyote, like a smuggler, and we pretended we were his family, and the border patrol didn't buy that shit right away. So they deported us and they let him go, and we were sent to like a jail, and we just watched cartoons and ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and then just let us go.
Thank you, ICE. For my career.
Where was the jail?
It was in San Isidro, San Clemente.
Wow.
Then the second time,
You made it pretty far.
We crossed all the way. We made it San Clemente, but there was like a wannabe like Minutemen, But they were like they were
volunteers.
They were sheriffs, like San Clemente sheriffs, and they were just stopping random cars. And it's funny because they would stop like at Mexicans.
How old were you?
I was like 4. They would stop some Mexicans, and they would just tell those guys, "We're just going to Disneyland," and they'll let them go. And then everybody was saying, "Just tell them you're going to Disneyland, and they let you go." So we didn't know about that. So they caught us and they deported us again. Then the third time, my aunt, she goes back and forth. She has multi-citizenship. So she said, "You know what? You can use my kids' passports."
Wow.
So we were 3 boys, and one of them was for a girl. So we didn't draw straws. My little brother, we dressed that little fool like a little girl, like a little dress, everything, man. So 2 weeks getting prepared for the biggest role of his life. Fuck Miss Doubtfire, So he's ready, bro. And we get to the border. They ask him, "What's your name?" And he used the name. My name is Patty, and he didn't show no penis or nothing. He was perfect. Wow. He could have got an Academy Award. So they crossed us, and I was a little kid, but I remember a lot of it. I thought we were going to just go, right? Go meet my mom and dad somewhere. But we went to Carson. And it was like Carson was like a hub for like illegal immigrants from everywhere. Whether you came in from Canada or you came in a boat from China.
The Goodyear blimp?
Yeah.
Huh?
So this whole house, every room had like, okay, this room, we're going to put all the Mexicans. Over here, we're going to put Lebanese people, whatever. So they got us, and like they took us to another place, and our parents were there, and I think they exchanged money. But I remember that going there, a friend of ours, when I was an older kid, like 20 years old, his brother came, and like he owed the border, the fucking coyote smuggler, like $1,000. And he goes, and then we all said, "Where's that fucking house?" So we found out where that house was, and we went like with like the fucking A-team, bro. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Rappelling from the roof.
We had a black dude. He was B.A. Baracus, and then we went in there, man. We just took our friend out and kept, and those guys were chasing us, but they didn't catch us.
The Coyotes, they're still doing good business today, right?
It's a very lucrative livelihood if you want to do it, because there's people coming from China now, and to come from China, man, that could run you a $50,000 trip to go through, because you got to go to Mexico and then cross. That's why a lot of these Chinese end up being endangered slaves, because they can't pay that shit.
Jesus Christ. It's 2022. We're still doing this. It's crazy, man.
It feels like a vestige of the past.
It does. I mean, all of this, whatever's going on in Ukraine feels 100 years old. The Coyotes feel as old as time. Then once you're here, it's indentured servitude. You got to pay off your debt that you ran up. I mean, if you are fleeing somewhere, by nature, you don't have Byron Allen money sitting around, right? You have no money, so everything they extend you credit,
correct,
but you're not going to get to LA and sell a Ferrari and then pay you got to work that debt off.
And they will hold on to that ID for you so it doesn't get lost.
Oh,
passport
man.
too.
Yeah.
Well, they'll tell you stuff like, we know your family is in Hong Kong.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll keep going with Felipe Esparza right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, walking around Lowe's, and of course I thought about you. Just imagine in your head, killing time, hanging out. But there is, there's a huge saw where you get things ripped, cut and back and all, whatever. Next to there, any scraps that are left next to there are just free to take, because people will pay for an entire 2x4x10 and want literally 2 feet of it. I go by there and it's like it's Christmas. I'm so excited. I'm going to Lowe's. Let's go check the scrap window too for free. And it's always legit chunks of lumber, and I just bring it home to work on little projects.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I think that's what Ben Shapiro did a few years ago. He went and got a strap and was shown walking outside the Lowe's with it.
He talks so fast, that guy.
I know. It's so funny, because when we get Kyle Dunnigan, it says...
Oh, he's good, too.
He's great. Yeah. He's like, does Ben Shapiro?
Like, I can do it for 3 seconds.
Ben Shapiro, and he's like, I can't talk that fast. The Lowe's and the Home Depot has a radial arm saw. That's what this guy is saying. It's the cross-cutting. Mm-hmm. So a table saw is for ripping things long ways. So you want to build a bookshelf, Gina Grad.
Yeah.
You get your table saw out, and you take your 4x8 sheet of plywood and you rip it. You rip it into 12-inch pieces. Then you get your radial arm saw and you cross-cut it to 4-foot lengths to make your shelves.
Thank you.
So in the back of the Home Depot or the Lowe's, there's the radial arm saw, and people show up and they get a 1x12 by 8-foot piece of clear Doug fir or something, and they only want 6 foot of it, so they cut 2 foot off. And those scraps to that guy were like the broken taco shells for me at Henry's Tacos when I was 13. That's
Collect
free.
them all.
Collect and trade. Yes.
You're from the Valley?
Yep.
Oh, I was mistaken. I thought you and Jimmy Kimmel and the guy, the other guy,
Byron Allen?
No, the guy from Channel 4. His show comes out late too, like Byron Allen.
The guy from Channel 4?
Petros Papadakis.
I thought, we're all from Las Vegas.
Jimmy. Well, it's kind of funny.
Because I know that you were on KROQ. I remember you when I was a little kid. Mm-hmm. We're the same age, probably. And
I'm a couple years older.
And you came on as a boxer for that black engineer guy on KROQ.
Wow, he remembers.
Michael the maintenance.
Yes.
Who I wanted
I think
to
you
train.
came in to train somebody. Or you were going to box.
I came in to train.
Oh,
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Well, I came in to train. I wanted to train Michael the maintenance man because you know how black don't crack.
Mhm. Yeah.
You also always have to bet on black.
Right.
But
Hedge
I
bets.
got Jimmy.
Oh, the man show would have looked really different.
No. So here's the funny thing. You talk about the Valley. I brought up Henry's Tacos. And I had this weird flashback. So Jimmy and there's a
whoa
picture. There's a picture of Jimmy getting pummeled by Michael the maintenance man. And then there's a picture of me smiling with my Bodies in Motion t-shirt and cap on, standing ringside as his trainer. Now, Chris, there's a website. So this is weird. Last night, Jimmy sent me a text with a website on it, and it was called like Valley Signs Museum or something like it's a place where they've collected the Palomino. The Palomino
restaurant
is the honky tonk bar, whatever.
Yeah, it's a country western bar. Old school.
Johnny Cash has played the Palomino, and Willie Nelson, and
Clint Eastwood shot a movie there. Every which way but loose.
Everything was at the Palomino. It was like Deep Valley, not Deep Valley, sort of deepish North Hollywood, and like featured in like every third Burt Reynolds movie, there'd be a fight scene at the Palomino. Hooper, the stunt movie, the Hooper, it's like at the Palomino was like all the big name country acts would show up, and then so they got the Palomino sign because I'm sure it's an IKEA or something now.
I'm such an elitist dick that like I'm thinking of the Palomino under the Bay Bridge in San Francisco. It's like a fancy restaurant. They take you like to woo you to like work for a hedge fund.
This is
like,
a Roadhouse.
Is it like
It's
that?
a Roadhouse. This is like bench seating, small stage. Probably it would be the equivalent to a small comedy club where George Carlin and Byron Allen,
Pryor, all the greats.
like all the greats would go by and play it.
So this is like a sign graveyard.
It's a sign grade. It's got Henry's Tacos in it. And the thing that kind of blew my mind is I never really talk about this, but when I was like 13, I was huge into BMX bikes and BMX bike racing, and there was a place.
PK Ripper.
There was a place called the Pedal Shop, which was the bike place we used to hang out. It was a little boutique place. The guy had a van who would take us to the. His name was Larry. He would take us to the races, the BMX races at the community center in like Van Nuys on Friday nights, and
He wouldn't give you drinks that would make you sleepy, right?
he would give us Jesus juice.
There's ice cream in the van, kid.
Right. Oh, that is quite a museum we're looking at.
This isn't the website that I mean, it's got the same stuff in it, but this is not the one Jimmy sent me.
It's thrifty,
the Pioneer
ice cream,
Chicken one.
Yeah, it's a Pioneer Chicken. All the
Loves.
When you're in loves, the whole world's delicious.
Oh my god!
Look at the marlin on the left.
By the way, I'm
Never been there.
I imagine the same thing. I didn't get into the details with Jimmy. I just said, brings me back, thanks. But this is what Jimmy sent me. But there were every single one of these signs, except for Pioneer Chicken, was a restaurant we weren't allowed to go into. I knew Love's. I knew the theme song to Love's. I knew where it was located. I passed it several thousand times. There's no fucking way we're going in that place. They serve steaks and people had good times.
Right.
Good times.
And so it was off our fucking docket. But
my mom would take us to that other place, H Salt.
Oh,
Fish and chips.
Fish and
North
chips.
Hollywood.
Yes, there was that. So we got Henry's Tacos.
Henry's Tacos.
You'll see the Pioneer Chicken. You'll see the Pedal Shop is up there somewhere too. So it's just a weird flashback to 13 and chilling out.
That looks like a fun place to visit.
With my BMX friends.
Pup and Taco.
Yeah, it is. There's the Pedal Shop. Yeah, Pup and Taco.
Yeah.
That was another weird one.
Yeah.
So you're deep. So where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Boyle Heights, downtown LA area.
And so when did comedy start to make its way into your world?
We had a friend. I live in the housing projects, and right across the street was regular homes. I guess people rented them, but they lived right across the street from the projects, and they thought they were better than us. So one of my friends' dad, he was like a Vietnam vet. He had a bunch of tapes, and he recorded a bunch of comedy HBO specials on a VHS. So like a 6 hour of comedy.
Sure.
And it had Robin Williams with a Hawaiian T-shirt, Howie Mandel when he did the bubble, Paul Rodriguez with the sweater. And they had the young comedians with
Byron Allen,
Robert Townsend, Andrew Dice Clay, and Sam Kinison.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Were there any Gallagher specials on there?
I saw the one with I saw the Gallagher, the one with when he's roller skating.
Yeah. So
I think his first special. I think.
So there's this big marathon of compilation of all these in low res, I'm guessing, and you're just watching this. How old are you?
I was like 14. Then we watched that, and someone else, brought a 7-hour porn or two. So.
All right.
Are you guys?
We watched,
there's very
Debbie does dishes.
You and Adam, I think, were separated at birth. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, we didn't have a VCR, but we did have a friend.
Right.
He had a VCR, and his dad had Love Boat. We had Sex Boat.
We had the first VCR in the hood, right? It was a Samsung. No one ever heard of it. They were laughing. Everybody has Sony. They have Fishers or RCA. And I remember this lady, she made fun of our fucking VCR. She goes, oh, pinche marca desconocida. She said, oh, unknown brand. Never heard of that shit.
I hadn't yet.
I like that poor people still diss other poor people.
People on welfare will diss another person on welfare. Oh, you gotta get more money.
So everyone is a piece of shit. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, my dad went to Radio Shack and got the beta recorder because he didn't want any selection for us to be able to rent because of the format.
It was tough, man. Like in our neighborhood to rent videos, there was no membership. There was nothing. You would have to leave like $100 deposit to rent 3 movies. So I started recording them and selling them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You're like bootlegging them. Do you guys, I mean, you guys don't remember it. Felipe probably does, which is like you could rent, Goonies 3. And if you lost it or damaged it, it was $114 for a tape.
Why?
No one ever was able to be able to explain the math to me, but it was way more money than any of our $7 an hour asses had.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer, or at least know 80% of the answer. The video stores bought those from the distributor for $100 or whatever it was, and the idea was they'd make money by renting it over the course of months.
So you got to make them whole.
But then that would price out the consumer from owning. I'm not going to rent it. I'm just going to buy it for $20. No. It's going to cost you $100, and we're going to disincentivize people from buying. And then occasionally there would be ones that be priced promotionally to buy it.
Yeah,
but
they're expensive.
This is good, Brian, because between the answer to my half-built homes in Tijuana and now this, I'm really
you're having
there's
quite a day.
lot of question marks that I've had floating around my head for decades, and I've just checked 2 boxes.
What do you want to know about Jewish girls?
My Uncle Wonka he knew the guy who the video store owner, and he just worked an under the table deal to hey, order an extra one for me. I'll give you pay $20 for it or whatever it is.
Nice.
Yeah. So here's a question in the Be Kind Rewind department. Batting average of rewinding movies. Porn versus PG movies.
Dude, you got to rewind that porn. You're at the flute point.
You have to, because they're going to know your jam.
They're going to know where you stopped.
They'll literally know your jam, your Pearl jam. Yeah, they're going to know where you stopped.
That's
On the other hand,
That's what it's called.
it can't really be traced back to you.
Well, I would argue it can.
Well, look, when you have roommates and you're sharing,
that's a good point.
Sharing Taboo 2. You gotta mix it up.
Wow.
But
I never thought about this.
So I say it's a higher batting average amongst the people that rent porn in the rewind department.
Well, we were fancy. My mom got one of the Just Rewinder machines because somebody convinced her that it would break the VCR if we were constantly rewinding from the VCR. So we had to put it in the thing and close it.
Battery operated on that?
Plug-in.
Plug-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all the Blockbusters had them.
I remember Blockbuster, you could rent the DVD player
That's right.
Or the VCR.
Oh, really?
I was in
or the video game console.
Yeah, I was in El Paso, Texas at the comic strip, and it was boring. There was nothing to do. So we went to Blockbuster, two comedians, we rented it. And we traded the videotape for free tickets to the comedy club.
Right. Wow.
Do you want in the annals of not ever being able to work the clock and timer on the VCR, like setting the clock and then pre-programming it?
Right.
I was living with my girlfriend in North Hollywood. We had the cable package, a one-bedroom apartment in North Hollywood, and we had the Playboy channel. And I looked at the guide, and they had like Playboy's Playmates of Spring Break or whatever. It was going to air at 11 o'clock on a Friday night. And I was like, oh, I know this one. This one's so good. I've seen it, but I don't have a tape of it. I want to get a tape of it, but I don't know how to work the fucking VCR, and I can't ask my girlfriend to come help. So I worked a deal out with my friend John, which is I was going to take my girlfriend out on a Friday night, and then I'll leave the door open. You come into my apartment physically, like hold down the record button, and you tape it, and then I'll come home and get to it, like, oh, who left the VCR on?
What's this all about?
Why's the door? All right, I'll do the move where I jiggle my keys by the knob, or I block her. God, this deadbolt. It's always a bitch.
Sticking.
Always sticky, and then I'll walk in and run over and throw. I did it.
That's good.
I know,
That's the analog way of doing analog.
So fucking sad, though.
Fix the tracking.
The same years I was probably setting the VCR to record SNL.
Yeah.
So you watch now. You get the comedy. You're watching the marathon tape of comedy.
Yeah.
But there's nobody around you.
There's nobody around me that does stand up. There's nobody that is in acting. There's nobody. So I just play with the idea, I'm gonna be a comedian in my head, over and over. And I saw that I was in my high school got overcrowded, so they had to separate Roosevelt High School and Garfield High School. Mm-hmm. So they got some of the kids from both schools, and they got them together to go to East LA College. So it was like an East LA extension program, which I was on. So I got to take high school classes and college courses. Plus, there was a lot of freedom. So there were no more walls. So I was ditching a lot.
You came from no roofs. You must have no walls.
To no walls. So I met my friend, a friend of mine named Emilio Garcia. He came home. He brought the Richard Pryor album, the one he did for, I don't know if it was Drozen Records or Warner Brothers. The N-word is crazy, you know. And man, we memorized that shit. I memorized that shit. And I was just performing that shit in my class with my friends. You can never get an ambulance in the ghetto unless you say, 5 black guys killing a white woman. Where's the body?
So that's where it begins.
Yeah.
But then at a certain point, it's time to
talent show.
See if we can get paid to do it.
I went to I got hooked on crack real early, like when I was like 19, 20 years old. And I went down for like 8 months. And then I went to rehab. And when I came out of rehab, I still wanted to be a comedian. And so I just went straight to the public library on 5th and Grand. And then this old lady came up to me, how can I help you? I just told her, like if she was a guidance counselor. I want to be a comedian, ma'am.
At the library.
And it was Henry Chinaski. I want to be I want to be a comedian. I don't know how. And then she goes, well, she took me to, I guess, the art section. And there was a bunch of comedy writing books and comedy limericks and the history of comedy. So I just rented all those books off the library. And only one of them was on comedy writing. It was by Jean Perret, Comedy Writing Step by Step. So I ended up keeping that book. And then I took it back, then I bought it. Then I found another book called How to Make Money as a Comedian. Oh. No, How to Write Funny, Be Funny, and Make comedy, make money from being funny.
Make funny money.
By Byron Allen.
So that one broke down the how to write comedy and like where do you stand, whether you're whatever comedian style. So then I got an Alley Weekly, and I saw comedy classes. Fuck. So I went
what
to
are you, 21, 22?
22, 23. So I went to Judy Brown comedy class. It was like the first one is free. So I took as much notes if I could for the free class. Then I bailed out. They didn't join. It was $500.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
expensive.
And then you get a tape from the Ice House. So then I went to Greg Dean.
Oh, I got a tape from the Ice House. I did that thing.
So I went
way
to
back
Greg
in the day.
Dean comedy class. So I learned. I was like an hour and a half free course. So I took that free course too. Then I tried to go back to Judy Brown with a different name. They recognized me. So nobody wanted to give me $500. So I went to. I wrote a couple of cheesy ass jokes. I went to the Natural Fudge Comedy Theater on Melrose, and now it's called the Melrose Theater. And they did stand up comedy only on Mondays with punk rock music. So they have like 2 punk bands go up, and then a comedian will do open mic. 2 comedians, and while the band is sitting up, you're doing comedy. So I went up the first night, and I had no jokes, but I had this joke. I said that this is Romeo and Juliet in my neighborhood. So then I pretended I was Romeo, like a crackhead, picking up stuff off the floor and eating it. Then I said, Juliet, where's my fucking pie, bitch? Throw down the pipa, bitch. And then and I'm gonna sell your cat. And then everybody was laughing. Then I said I saw a movie called Last of the Mohicans. I'm gonna do my own movie about Mexican, Last of the Mojados, about the last wetback. And they laughed. But then I met Alonzo Bowden there, Freddie Soto, Jamie Kennedy, Cynthia Levin, and some other comedians. I got to know those guys that first night. They said, man, you were funny, man. But I didn't know what funny was. I could have bombed. They're just being nice. So the owner of the club, Johnny Roberts, he goes, hey, kid, you're fucking funny. We're filming a show next week. It's going to be on cable. So I thought I arrived, this is it, the big
That's
time.
not bad.
I'm going to be on the Tonight Show. But it was local access. I don't know what that was back then.
Yeah, public access.
Public access.
Yeah.
So at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday, he paid him $50 to be on it.
I've done that shit.
So I didn't know. So I thought I made it. I thought I had a TV credit, and I didn't know how to dress. I thought you had to dress like a comedian, So all I knew was like Mike Ripa, or all I knew was 80s comedians, the way they dressed,
skinny ties,
skinny tie, the little patch right here.
Yeah, right. Sure, of course.
So I was trying to be like one of those comedians. So I went to a thrift store, and I found a coat. I couldn't find a tie, so I bought a bolo for like $1. So I look like Johnny Redcord doing comedy.
It's a very skinny tie.
I look like Fosse Bear, to tell the truth. So I kept going there, and they told me to go to some comedian told me to go to the Laugh Factory, and then to the Comedy Store. Then I became a regular at the Comedy Store in 98, 99. I auditioned, I think 11 weeks in a row.
Wow.
She told me to come in.
Mitzi was back then. Whenever I hear these stories, and then sometimes I think about my past, sometimes when Jimmy sends me a picture of Henry's Tacos, I go, oh, yeah. Oh, back in the day. But it's so interesting. I wish I knew this back then, but it's like you start the first thing is you just start gravitating towards something. You find yourself in a library talking to someone about funny books, and then you find yourself looking in the drama log or the back of the Herald Examiner and like, oh, they're doing a thing here. Oh, I'm going to go down there. And it's weird, but society at large doesn't really recognize what you're doing. I mean, my parents or family members, they never went like, you seem to be By the way, use the same math on arson and pedophilia as well. If you see the kids sort of drifting that direction, get involved a little bit. But it's such this weird thing where it's like you find yourself you keep finding yourself. You're like a young kid who's banging on pots and pans. Like maybe there's a drummer inside of this kid somewhere. We don't really do it with comedy, so you just sort of start drifting that way. And I don't think you're drifting that way.
Right.
You just know this is kind of what you want to do, but no one ever spells it out or quantifies it or explains anything. But it's still yet strangely effective.
Yeah.
Like, why is it so effective? You have no plan. You find yourself looking at ads, showing up, meeting people you've never seen before in church basements or doing open mics that you get 3 minutes or you're standing there and Pauly Shore walks in and they tell you to go sit down and then that's your night. You don't get any time on stage. But then how does it work? How do you end up? Everyone's got the same story. It's weird. It's never quantified. It's not really discussed. I got a son. He's 15, He likes doing a podcast. He likes talking about sports. He's an encyclopedia of all the sports statistics. And he sends me shit. He sent me something yesterday. Here, the 40-yard dash the record was broken at the combine, 4.22. Like, he's sending it to me. All right, I see where he's going.
Yeah.
He's 15.
He's passionate about it.
I'm not going to go slap the fucking almanac out of his hand with all the sports statistics in it and go back to the construction site, or you need a real job. Like, I see where he's going. I'll help him go there. I'll point some things out. It's clear what he's doing. It
does sound like comedy is that one blind spot where either parents don't know what direction to send their kids, or they're praying that they get over it. Like, what you want to be a
Felipe
what?
Felipe and I both had shit parents, but I don't know about Felipe.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so it wasn't. I wish they were
they were there.
I wish they were like, you're going to be a lawyer like the rest of us. You're not going to. They were like, go fucking do whatever you want. Just don't do it here.
When I told my dad I want to be a comedian, first thing he said, "Why you want to be a comedian? You're not black."
Fair.
He goes, for real, because he saw me laughing one time watching Eddie Murphy Delirious, and then Richard Pryor. He goes, "You're not black." He goes, "That's not your thing." He goes, "You work at UPS. One day you'll be a driver, and later on, you drive the big trucks, and then one day you have an easy job, just driving from Washington to Santa Fe and back."
Had a plan.
But that's ridiculous. He didn't know that. I was not even working for UPS. I was just a security guard there.
Oh, now were you funny around the house, and did anyone take note of that?
No, you couldn't be. I was funny, but my mom was funnier. My dad was funny, but not really funny, more like dark humor. Like he for my dad's comedy was there's 6 of us in the back of the truck, and my dad pulled up to McDonald's. We're all in the back, high-fiving each other, laughing, and he just drives out.
Oh no!
Or my dad, he's driving away and one of us is left behind crying. He's running, chasing after us.
Oh, that's hilarious.
There's funny.
And then my dad's laughing. You thought we were going to leave you, huh, stupid?
What'd your dad do?
My dad was a welder. He worked for a company called Pike Metals. And he worked there for a long time, welding shit together. And according to my mom, he had that job since Panama built the canal in Panama, I think.
Wow!
Because part of the project of the Panama Canal was all American, so the American steel, everything was put together in America, and they shipped it over there.
Wow!
So my dad said he helped.
I think they built the Panama Canal in 1914 or something.
Yeah, he's a liar.
I think he's lying. Did
he
help?
Not 1914 because Roberto Duran was alive and protesting and got locked up during a time when they were building it, because I saw the movie.
Well, retrofitting it? What year did they build the Panama Canal?
They started in 1881 but completed in 1914.
Really?
Oh, man,
I'm just looking here.
Did I say 1914?
You sure did, yeah.
When it both started crossing.
When your dad got the job at the
my mom's a liar.
Place. Fucking lying. All right, listen, I say this once every week. How was I a D- student? Shouldn't I have at least been a C student?
You should have at least tested well. You regurgitate the information amazingly.
You magnet at least?
I was nothing. I was warehouse. But the thing I like about the Panama Canal, if memory serves, is I think the French started it, got nowhere, and then the Yankees moved in and went, all right, we'll fucking mop up here and finish this job. But anyway, your dad, is he still alive?
He's alive somewhere in a retirement home, chilling.
And we're talking about him working there in the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah.
Panama Canal, long finish.
Long finish.
Should we tell your mom? Is she around?
I'm going to keep saying that.
Long finished.
1914.
Yeah, that's when it was. That was the ribbon cutting ceremony.
She does have Alzheimer's.
She does?
A little bit.
Well, we should still let her know the truth.
I'll tell her.
You tell her a couple times.
Mom, Dad lied.
Panama Canal.
Like you said, maybe they're retrofitting
He took his grandfather's story.
All right. Well, speaking of metal and welding, Solo Stove. Nothing like gathering around the fire on a cool evening. A smokeless fire pit from Solo Stove makes your outdoor moments even more memorable. And right now, you can get a great deal on a Solo Stove fire pit. This thing is stainless steel. It's well put together. It is a nice piece, man. Brilliantly engineered, made with premium grade 304 stainless steel and a 360-degree airflow system that maximizes efficiency while minimizing smoke. Easy to light with just a few bits of starter. Perfectly portable. You can take it with you when you go camping and just put it in your backyard, especially when it's cool at night. It's beautiful. It's the Solo Stove, right, Dawson?
Shop now and get up to 30% off fire pits all month long and use promo code Adam at checkout to get an extra $20 off, plus a lifetime warranty and free 30-day returns. Just go to solostove.com and remember, you get $20 off when you use promo code Adam.
Felipe, you want to call your mom now and tell her about the whole dad not being involved with the Panama Canal thing? Because I feel like you might forget.
Ama. Mentirosa.
What would that sound like in Spanish?
No. I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know how to say it in Spanish. I know how to think about it in English, but it's going to take me a long time to translate.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll be your mom. Mijo?
Amá, ¿sabes qué? Cuando me dijiste que mi papá trabajó con el canal de Panamá,
sí.
Era mentira.
No. No.
Se acabó en 1914,
no.
78.
No, Championship Welter. El Rondo. No.
Estás enferma, señora.
Oh, no, mijo. No. All right, but seriously, don't forget.
I will tell her, man. Mom, I'm going to stop telling you a whack story.
She's been living a lie for all these years. And imagine, you know, whenever Roberto Duran's name comes up around the house, oh, he was there.
Mom, por favor, no más.
Yeah, it's a Roberto Duran joke. Roberto, they were done with the Panama Canal for 35 years before Roberto Duran was born.
Yeah.
Tell her that, too.
Break her heart.
Well, look, the truth is for all, Gina.
No.
Okay.
Hey, didn't you tell your mother to stop hawking at her mother about being one of the daughters of the revolution?
My family hates each other so much that my family has a policy. If they catch anyone bragging or feeling good about themselves,
they'll cut you down to size.
They cut you down, man. And my grandmother had a couple of weird things, but one of them was she thought she was a daughter of the American Revolution, which is like some group of, if you had a distant relative that may have been in the room when they signed the Declaration of Independence, then you can be in this group. And every time my grandmother would announce it, her daughter, my mom, would look at the room and go, no, not really. And I thought, who the fuck cares if this old witch is saying this? But nothing was better in the scrub out any joy department and in the truth and honesty department. About 4 years ago, we were sitting around. Everyone was over for Thanksgiving, and my sister went on a 12-minute story about the time her and Mom were in Encino, and they were at the Gelson supermarket, and they went in, and there was Michael Jackson. But timeline would work out. He had the compound in Encino with the family, and somehow they were in Encino, and they went to the market, and there was MJ, and it was the greatest thrill of her life as a 9-year-old meeting Michael Jackson in person. And it was life-changing, and it was the biggest thrill in the world. And at some point, after about 12 minutes of this, she turned to my mom and goes, "Mom, you remember that when we met Michael Jackson?" And my mom's like, "No, I do not."
That's like, so hateful.
Bitch, just go with it. Well, you're essentially calling your daughter either liar or insane.
Yeah, or it doesn't matter anyway.
Who knows? Yeah, my thing is if that was your memory, I'm sure.
Run with it.
Maybe.
I'm sure we were
so.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, he did live in Encino, and we have been there before. Okay.
But his sister did.
Sweet Goonies reference.
I remember my brother, I guess he told my son that he knows Tony Hawk personally from the 80s, and they used to hang out in Venice, and my brother was still skateboards in Salem. But he did still skateboard in Salem. But so one day we're all hanging out, and I was high. We're in San Diego, and my son was there. He goes, "Yeah, my dad grew up with Tony Hawk." And I was like, "I did?" Then everybody laughed. I should have said, yeah, I know him. They used to call him Tony Pájaro.
Tony's coming on the show soon,
All right.
by the way.
Nice.
All
ask
right.
him.
Yeah, I don't know when he's booked, but
Near the end of the month, but yeah, if your brother wants to come take a picture with him.
I'll tell him.
all right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and do some news right after this. All right, wait a minute. Here's the question. Now I'm a flood of memories. I'm picturing driving back from
Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's house.
no, Vince Bruno's house, their cousin, and apartment in Santa Monica, and my dad's VW Bug, and I was like 9, and all I had was football. And for some reason, there was an obsession in those days on height. There was a lot of John Wayne's a 6-footer.
Right.
You know, like it's a weird thing, like a weird height. Really, he's a 6-footer. He's 6 foot tall. Big man enters the room, almost hits his head on the door jamb, you know?
Yeah, you're right. They used to make the saloon things smaller so you didn't have to duck.
Right.
Yep.
You know, so he looked bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So I was like, this thing, and all I was a dope, and our parents were dopes. There was no money, there's anything, but I was going to play football, and that's was going to save me. I was obsessed with playing professional football. See, what people don't realize is my kids don't obsess over jack fucking squat. And the reason they don't obsess over one thing is because they have so much shit going on simultaneously that why? I was like a convict with a bird.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just every day.
Alcatraz.
Petting it, nurturing it, putting a little feeder and everything, because that's all you had.
Well, and also they're not looking for ways to escape every second.
All
of the
I
day.
had was football.
Right.
So I could just dream, like one day I'd get out of here,
Right.
I'd play football. And we were driving with my dad. I was on Wilshire Boulevard. And I said, "Dad, do you think I'll be a 6-footer one day?" And he goes, "Probably not." And just kept driving. And I'm like, what the fuck? But on the other hand, I kind of got the message, all right, you gotta figure your own shit out. Now, a bunch of sunshine blown up my ass about how great I was and how the world should just part for me as I enter the room. I don't think that would have served me well. This was a little too harsh in the other direction.
We'll never know.
But it made for an effective, hungry 25-year-old who didn't think he was going to get any favors from anybody. So is it just a balance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just a balance.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the easy answer. You don't have to tell your kid they're amazing, everything you do is wonderful, but anything can be done. You work hard enough, you study, whatever it is. Yeah, it can be done.
My dad wanted me to go get a job at a pizza place so we could get free pizzas.
See? That's
I like the way he
practical.
thinks. Yep.
It's practical.
Realistic.
You guys gotta learn how to make pizzas. He goes, "They're good." He goes, so I got a job at Dodger Stadium at Pizza Hut.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
And I would
sweet.
take home all the frozen pizzas
Oh,
home.
yeah.
Living the dream.
Yeah. Your dad
I
must
made
have
it,
been
Dad. Anything else?
Pretty proud.
It's big time.
Yeah, I mean, did he have another son that he could get gig at a Dairy Queen for dessert.
Yeah,
like,
the
what are you
son
doing
and the
for
daughter,
dessert?
remember?
My brother Angel, man, he got a job at a real pizza place. Yeah.
Oh, he's outdoing you.
But now you're flush with pizzas, but what about hoagies and desserts, you know?
Something to wash it down with.
Yeah. I do like the way your dad thinks, though. Fresh off of finishing the Panama Canal, guy works up an appetite.
Yeah, my dad was always trying to make money like fast, you know, lying and shit. I remember we collect aluminum cans because that was a thing, you know, you make our own money. So I was like 10. So we went to all the Little League games and took all the Coke cans. We took every can from Hollenbeck Park, Echo Park, and then we went to go trade it in, and it came out to like, what, $20? And then my dad kept all the money.
Come on.
Like he didn't buy a shit.
That's fucked
Not
up.
even a Doritos with a little Springfield soda, nothing.
Well, maybe he's using that money on the ticket for the steamer ship back to Panama. Finish one of the gates.
He was hanging out with Roberto Duran at the Olympic Auditorium.
It started in 1875. You got to tell your mom.
I got to tell her.
I know she's not in great health. It's important. You don't want her to go to the beyond with this lie.
The story wrong. Maybe he helped write the song Panama with Van Halen in 77.
I'm sweating. I'm laughing so hard. All right, Gina, what do we got?
All right. Well, we'll get to the Ukraine if we get there, but we've been starting with that a lot. So
How about
let's try something else.
Panamanian strongman Manuel Noriega with the greatest fucking nickname in the world?
What?
Pineapple Head. Because he had really bad skin.
It was bad.
That'll get your ass kicked.
It was like bad acne, like Edward James almost.
Yeah, who played Jaime Escalante.
Right.
Coming full circle, but I think he had a great Spanish name. I don't know how you'd say Pineapple Head. Cabeza
de piña.
Yeah.
Cabeza de piña.
That cuts. I mean, no wonder he was
that's how you
lashing
turn out to be
out
a
the way
fighter.
he did,
Yeah.
you know.
Noriega, man.
Yeah. Was he Pineapple Head or Pineapple Face or
Clam chowder face?
Yeah. Your dad probably preferred pizza face, but pineapple face, that's rough. We'll figure it out. Sorry, Gina.
It's a lot of acne.
Chris will figure it out.
Well, let's start with something else. Bill Gates' ex-wife, Melinda French Gates, appeared on CBS Mornings recently.
I heard some of this.
Yeah, said there were a number of things that led to their divorce, including Bill's relationship with the late Jeffrey Epstein.
Did you hear about this?
I'm going to play it for you.
It's crazy.
Melinda told Gayle King she didn't like that Bill had meetings with Epstein over the years and made her feelings very clear. She even met Epstein once and had a less than pleasant reaction. Here's the clip.
I also met Jeffrey Epstein exactly one time.
Did you?
Yes, because I wanted to see who this man was. And I regretted it from the second I stepped in the door. He was abhorrent. He was evil personified. I had nightmares about it afterwards. So, you know, my heart breaks for these young women because that's how I felt. And here I'm an older woman. My God, I feel terrible for those young women. It's awful.
Sounded like she was invited to the island.
He was awful.
Yeah. And you shared that with Bill, and he still continued to spend time with him?
Any of the questions remaining about what Bill's relationship there was, those are for Bill to answer.
Okay.
She said that a lot throughout the interview. That's for Bill to answer.
She's selling real estate now, huh?
She has this
20th Century
crazy-
Fox
I'm
jacket
certainly
on.
not. I'm not defending Jeffrey Epstein, but what did she just sense that he was evil, or was he doing?
All right. First off, sorry, ladies.
I don't
You're
doubt that
fucking retroactive virtue signaling. Go fuck yourself. I wish I had a fucking GoPro on her head. She would have walked in. Oh my God, the marble. Is this Carrera marble? This is beautiful. Would you like some champagne? I'd love it. And she probably walked right.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep for weeks.
Yeah, this oak? No, pine. Pine's good.
Is this T&G? Yeah, a rough sawn. I love this flooring. Yeah, first off, the guy's a rich guy.
Rich.
He knows how to comport himself.
That's what I was
You know,
gonna
he's not
say, was
showing
he-
up the bathrobe in a boner, holding a malt liquor, going, "Hey, bitch, get in the house. I got a 14-year-old in the sack." I mean, I'm sure he put something on because he's a business guy. He's got to get a lot of money and deal with very high-powered people. This notion of you walked in and
It was pure evil. It was like, it was? What was he doing?
I'm sure first off, the event must have been some charity thing he was doing at his house or some party, some barbecue or something.
It wasn't a late night poker
Probably
game.
littered with heavy hitters and their trophy wives, valet parking, and an ice sculpture. It's so easy to go, oh, I knew, It's a little much. I'll buy got a weird vibe off the dude.
And heard things and
fine. Waking up in the middle of the night in cold sweats because you walked into this guy's palatial estate and had a cocktail. I don't know. So here's why I couldn't interview people. I'd be like, so you just turn around and left? No, I was there for 6 hours. Oh, okay.
We still had dinner.
Wait a minute. How could you eat with this evil personified?
I mean, we go to a lot of events. You just have to push through for your husband.
And you had a few cocktails, did you?
Well, I had to. I mean,
trying to drown the pain,
absolutely.
were you?
I just
with
sedate
mojitos?
myself. They were delicious and they were aplenty.
All right. Well, I have some pictures of you two at a later date. So evidently
really?
You did see this guy again. Like, yeah. Boy, fucking Bill Gates getting thrown. By the way, it's probably worse to say you hung out with Epstein several times, and that's all I'll say, which makes your brain start reeling, right?
Ask Bill.
Ask Bill. Wow.
Yeah. And she did have some things to say about, how she and Bill and Buffett have the giving pledge.
Mm-hmm.
And God bless her. She says it's not a lot to ask a billionaire to give away half of their fortune. They're not going to miss it. They're not going to know it's gone. Now, I have no experience with this, but I like where her head's at.
Yeah, it's also, I don't know.
And isn't that upon their death? I think it's.
I interviewed, God, I can't remember. It's either not necessarily upon the death. You can do it up front or you can do it upon your death. Yeah, David Rubenstein, who was one that started the whole thing. It was called Pineapple Face.
It's important.
Pineapple Face.
Yeah.
Not upside.
That's right. Yeah. And you also have to be kind of big and undefined, too. You have to have kind of a bucket head and bad skin.
Maybe a spray of hair at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just going to hit some of the beats of some updates in Russia and Ukraine. The AP reports that Russians could face prison sentences.
And Melinda Gates got $200 billion or something. I mean,
she's going to be fine. She has a new business.
No NDA involved there.
Maybe that's where you have to ask. Bill comes in.
How much you get in a month?
Let me figure out. 2 billion times 12
divided by 12.
I mean, Jesus goddamn Christ.
She's gonna land.
I don't know. Like, at what point do you go, look? I'm not a fan of my ex, but dude did give me $2 billion when we broke up.
She said they're not friends, but they're friendly.
I'll just go off into the sunset, and I'll take a page out of Byron Allen's playbook, which is
keep my head down.
Keep my head down, cash my checks.
Right, all these spiritual wrongs by giving out millions.
Right.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Russians can face 15 years in prison spreading information that goes against the Russian government's position on the war in Ukraine. And they, of course, don't refer to it as a war or an invasion. They refer to it as a special military operation. So if you're disseminating anything that Russia considers fake news, you can be imprisoned in Russia for 15 years. That sounds heavy-handed, but let's get to something really scary. Mm-hmm. The International Cat Federation is the latest organization to take a stand against Russia. People.com reports that the federation, which is FIFE, which is Fédération Internationale Feline, issued a statement this week announcing that it would bar cats bred in Russia and cats belonging to exhibitors living in Russia from future competitions.
It's on.
It's on.
And
it's on now.
You know what's always funny when the shit goes down? How the groups tend to gravitate toward their groups. Right. So you go, there's this mass exodus and people are in subways being bombed. And it'd be like me going, are there any Paul Newman race cars over there? I mean, those cars are very important.
You still want that?
Like, that would be my thing.
Right.
And Brian would be worried about the films.
Yeah, the original print.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Who's protecting those?
Yeah.
At some point, move past the cats, go to the human beings.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, studios aren't letting Batman be shown. It's
Well,
like, what am I into? How can I help the war?
But here's
effort?
kind of here's kind of the moral conundrum. We're not going to let the Soviet soccer team compete, or we'll remove them from the EA Sports game or something. Like, well, what the fuck did they do? You know what I mean? I mean, they got some strong-arm dictator, horrible human being, but we're also punishing people who are like kind of sucked up in the wake of this horrible person. I mean, it's an unfortunate. I'm not totally against it, but it's not going to solve any. It's all symbolic.
Yeah, they're protesting in Moscow. They don't want to be. They don't want him to do it either.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to necessarily disagree, but we talk a lot about your accountability to the group, right? You're the sort of one fucks up, everyone must suffer. And I joke, but like, they voted Putin 77%. Like, you fuck up at the top, and everyone's teach a lesson to the group.
But they didn't. Did they really vote him in 77%?
No, but I'm of both minds.
You get what you reap what you sow, is what I'm saying.
Well, this is
none of those numbers could have been
no
cooked.
more vodka.
My theory is sort of a joke where, you know, whenever you find one of those piece of shit nations, and they go, it's not. Right. It's not the people. It's not the people. It's the government. It's the leadership. I always go,
point.
What part of Canada is he from? Mm-hmm. It's like, he is the people, baby. You are the people, and you've tolerated this, or you have orchestrated or let it fester, or whatever it is.
And here we are.
But I still don't know if you're on the Russian gymnastics team. I don't know why. I still feel bad for the 14-year-old chick who's punished, but who cares at this point?
But if you're a guy in America, you know, that's been beat up by white police officers, you probably say, hey, man, it's about time white people beat up other white people.
Yeah, little white on white.
It's about time they're not beating up Indians. They're not going to Africa. They're not going to Afghanistan. Hey, they finally got one of their own.
Blanco a Blanco.
Blanco a Blanco, mano to mano. You got to respect Putin, man. He said, you know what?
Well,
I'm going to disrupt the whole world. I'm going to attack fucking white people.
It does.
Yeah.
We don't tolerate that.
And America said, you know what? Nah, we don't take prisoners of war. We don't take refugees of no color.
Yeah.
No color.
Equal opportunity. Well, you know, remember when people were fleeing Afghanistan, I think it was, and they would get off these trains in Germany, and all the German people would be like cheering for them, welcome, we love you, we welcome you. And they're doing it again with Ukraine. They stand at the train station with a sign saying, you know, because depending on, they might not speak the language, like a stick figure, like one room for, you know, an adult and two kids, or one room with two. And I think the German people deserve a lot of credit to talk about righting wrongs.
They're overcorrecting.
Yeah.
But it's lovely.
Real quick, Gina, I'm not naive enough to think that the numbers are cooked. Of course they are. It's absurd. That said, if that's the party line, if that's the official party line, like, hey, everyone's on board with what we're doing. Putin has a mandate. You kind of get what you get what you get. That's like, this is the fallout of that.
Well, let's please get back to the cats for 1 second, because along with establishing new restrictions, FIFA plans to use some of its funds to assist Ukrainian cat breeders and cat fanciers.
Oh.
I was so excited to say cat fancy. I looked it up. There's a Cat Fanciers Association, and it was established around the Panama Canal. 1906, and they currently.
That's really my dad, one of the charter members.
Yeah.
It's a canal.
That's right.
Canal.
It's currently the world's largest registry of pedigreed cats, so they are going to help those cats out.
All right. Well, we wish them luck.
And you know who I guess I didn't realize was Ukrainian, or never really thought about it.
My mom.
And also Mila Kunis.
Oh,
so
yeah.
she and Ashton, yeah, I did too, actually. She and Ashton Kutcher have come out, and they're putting on sort of a pledge and making everybody a deal, essentially. They're going to match up to $3 million for GoFundMe to raise money for victims of the invasion. And that money is going to go to Flexport and to Airbnb. So those are two companies that have pledged to provide housing for refugees. And at the end of it, Mila makes a really great point. Here's the very end.
Please go to GoFundMe, find our page, donate what you can. The people of Ukraine are strong and brave, but being strong and brave doesn't mean you're not worthy of support. We need to support the people of Ukraine. Please help us.
Let's support them with everything we can.
Thank you.
Serious Ashton is so confusing.
It's a little confusing and cringy at the beginning because she says, I'm an American and I'm so proud to be here and I love everything America's given me, but I've never been more proud to be a Ukrainian. And he goes, and I've never been more proud to be married to a Ukrainian. A little stumbly.
I just hope this shit doesn't go down in Italy so I don't have to get in like the gondolier's outfit and make a plea for I'm saying right now, Italy, if something happens, you're on your own.
Would you gondolier or Chef Boyardee? Would you go Chef Boyardee?
I'd go Chef Boyardee. That's right. Yeah, it is funny how everyone is coming out. Yeah. And by the way, you didn't know. I kind of forgot that the Klitschkos. They grew up in Germany, I think. I'm trying to think. Or the dancer from Dancing with the Stars.
One of them is mayor in Ukraine. One of the Klitschkos is the mayor.
Vitaly.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I think Jews have had a complicated relationship with Ukraine, but it's a new day.
All right.
Yeah.
Also, black African students having a hard time getting in trains in Ukraine too.
Really?
Yeah, because I saw a video of a bunch of Ukrainians getting in a bus, and then they kicked out a couple of Africans because they were like putting on Ukrainians first.
Oh, really?
And then, of course, blacks second again.
Interesting.
But if you get on last on the bus, at least you get to sit in the front.
They were grabbing African students off buses and taking them out to replace them with white Ukrainians.
Ugh. Are you sure? I'm just playing devil's advocate. Are you sure it wasn't because they're men and they're not supposed to be leaving?
No, it was a woman student.
Ooh.
They're also having in the oppression department. The transgender having difficulty because your license says you got titties and you identify as a man and men have to stay behind or women. By the way, back in the day when Felipe's dad was putting the finishing touches on the Panama Canal, if you're on a Titanic and you just yelled the women and children first, it was cut and dry.
Yeah.
Now there's going to be a discussion.
There's going to be negotiations.
There's going to be a lot of negotiating going on because you can't just go women, children, you guys leave, men 18 to 59, you stay. Well, hold it, slow your roll. There's some gray area here.
Well, let's just hope that Texas doesn't get invaded and we won't have a problem.
Klitschko brothers' dad was an Air Force general stationed in Germany.
Damn.
There you go.
Mila
was born in 1983, so would she have been a Russian citizen?
She
was born in Ukraine, but I'm saying it was USSR.
I think it said she came here in 91. So, I mean, she was there for a while. Yeah. Not like she was taken out as a baby.
My only question was over the Ukraine versus Russia.
Right.
I think it was Russia.
Do we have time for one more? Because I think you're going to like it. Meghan Markle's half-sister is suing her, claiming she lied about her family. Oh, airtight case. Listen to this.
All right, I just want to say this. I was thinking about Bill Gates and, here's the deal. The good news is, for all the poor people out there, everyone is miserable.
Right.
Everyone. When I was a kid, it was like, that guy's rich.
Champagne wishes, caviar dreams.
Got a Cadillac. He has a Cadillac Eldorado.
No worries.
And you could bribe people. When I was a kid,
the good old days.
You just fucking travel the fucking wad of 20s, drink to your fucking heart's content, get pulled over on the pike, just peel off a couple 20s. That was it.
Yeah.
You needed, back in the day, Bill Gates would have had his wife taken out. I mean, you just do shit. You could use your money and get shit done.
He would have committed her.
Now you're
totally.
Everyone's
She's crazy.
Everyone's talking shit. They're on the internet. Everyone's calling you an asshole.
Your tone implies that was a better time.
Yes, for rich people,
Something
Brian, not for you.
Okay.
Not for your
I made
ilk.
the connection. I'm sorry.
Not for Felipe's family with the free pizzas, or Gina over here, or even my family. But for me,
right? Would have worked out.
That's right.
Yeah, you're the real victim. So Samantha Markle has taken an issue with her sister's now infamous Oprah interview. Samantha says Meghan's rags to royalty story is BS and she wants her to pay. One of those lies allegedly came when Meghan, and we talked about this back then, told Oprah she was an only child, although Samantha and Meghan share the same father. Samantha says Meghan's alleged lies have hurt her sales of her autobiography, prevented her from getting jobs, and caused emotional and mental distress. Meghan's attorney tells TMZ this is baseless. It's absurd. It's just a continuation of a pattern of disturbing behavior. We will give it the minimum attention necessary.
I hate
She's
Meghan
fucking
Markle.
up her flow for her autobiography.
I hate her and Prince Harry or whoever it is
Yeah.
that call everyone a fucking racist, and then they move to like Beverly Hills and they get a Netflix deal to produce. Here's millions of dollars produced for Netflix. Like, ugh, it's everything that's wrong with whatever time we're living in.
But
You can bribe people.
But this sister, boy,
Oh,
and the dad.
Well, look, they're what? By the way,
Albatross.
I was, I always complain that the black people that are half black always leave the mom out of the equation. Like when President Obama's black, except for his dad's black, but his mom's white.
A white lady from Kansas.
We ignore the mom, and it happens. I think it maybe Kaepernick was that way. I think there's a bunch of guys where it's like, no, they're half this. Tiger Woods, you know what I mean? Her mom is Asian.
He's got a lot going on.
But he's always the first black golfer, first black. I was like, well, what about the mom? But it's also a two-way street because Meghan Markle's dad is maybe the whitest man on the planet. She gets to be black. So the point is it moves. It always moves toward black because we want to talk about them as victims. They'd like to be victims. They'd like to get Piers Morgan deplatformed. So now you're black. But we got to establish some fucking rules. NASCAR, first black NASCAR great, Bubba Wallace. Yeah. Find a picture of Bubba Wallace. Did we show him? Find a picture.
I mean, we've looked at footage
of his dad.
No, not the dad.
There's a dad.
No, it's not.
The whitest fucking dude on the planet, but he gets to be the first African American, blah, 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 blah. It's such bullshit, this thing. Call it mixed. Call it whatever the fuck it is. How white is that dad?
That dad looks like every dad I grew up with in Kansas. He looks like he owns a dealership.
Looks photoshopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he looks.
Yeah, and by the way,
He looks like the team owner.
Who do you think got him into go-karting when he was 9?
Yeah.
A heavy-set mom of color?
I guess
Or
there's
maybe
no way to
We'll
know.
never know.
Maybe Mr. Goodwrench standing next to this guy? But he's always the first black. She's black.
Vin Diesel.
It's a fucking waste.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah, not discussed that often, but look, we gotta pick some rules. Is it the dad? Is it the mom? Is it always black? Can we work a mixed side in here?
Mm-hmm.
We need a more nuanced discussion.
I think so.
All right, let's bring it home. How
You
white
got
is
it.
his dad?
Although, does he introduce him as my black son?
Oh,
That's a good question.
not in the infield of a NASCAR race.
I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Hey, kid, you're fucking funny.
Gina. That was the news with Gina Grad.
Hey, this next week, or this week, I should say, Jay Moore, Harlan Williams, Joe Coy, Skylar Aston. We got a whole bunch of really good names and funny people coming in. Felipe Esparza, everyone, going to be at the Majestic Theater Friday.
Yes.
In Dallas, Texas. Las Vegas, Nevada, Treasure Island Casino, March 18th. Houston, Texas Improv. That'll be March 24th through the 27th. And What's Up, Fools? The name of the podcast. And the website is FelipeWorld.com. Always good to see you.
Thanks for having me. What's up, fool?
Is that your Here Come the Judge or what you're talking about, Willis?
Kiss my grits.
Yeah, let's hear it one more time.
What's up, fool?
Nah, a little more gusto.
What's up, fool?
Now, like you're trying to intimidate a coyote.
I wouldn't, though.
I know, but that's why we're going through.
What's up, pinche puto?
All right. So, until next time, for Felipe Esparza and Gina Grad and Ryan, say it. Mahala. You got to find the Popeil glass cutter commercial. This
Seems
is
very dangerous.
This was you are going to take all of your old 7-Up bottles, cut
turn
the
them
top
into
off,
planters.
sand
Make a
them.
tumbler.
Oh no,
Yeah.
tumblers.
Oh, drinkware?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
put
yeah.
your mouth up against it.
Yeah, because where the hell are you going to buy glass?